It's Sunday, it's the 2nd of December. That means it's time for the Sunday vlog. But first, here's the jingle. Start off with a bit of a workshop update. It's been a bit of a slow week in the workshop. I've been spending most of the time this week on the computer, so trapped up in the office, and I've been trying to get the website launched. I really want to start to build up some customers in the early new year, so I've been focusing on getting the website sorted out, and that should hopefully be launching this side of Christmas in the next couple of weeks. And I've also been making the business videos that we spoke about, and the first one that's going to come out in a couple of weeks' time is going to look at the business plan. So what's the size of the industry? How am I going to approach that industry? What's my unique selling points? All that great sort of business jargon. So I've been making the first video in that series, and I'll be putting that in a couple of weeks, and then we'll be moving to 4 videos per week production. And believe me, that's quite intense, but I really do want to make sure we share all the experience with you. So the workshop has been a little bit quiet. We are cracking on. You can start to see now that a pile of drawers are completed and appearing. Everything is now cut. My wall is now completely gone, and all the wood has been recycled for the bases. So we're building those. Takes a bit of time. By the time we've assembled them, glued them, clamped them, let them dry, rub them down, each one takes a little bit of time, and I'm limited by the number of clamps that we've got in the workshop as well. So but we're slowly getting through that. Let's have a look at YouTube. Another interesting week on YouTube. Remember last week we were talking about the subscriber count and how it suddenly went down. It went down to -2, I think it was, and then it came back up again, and then it leveled off and balanced out, and the figures are all over the place. That continued. I'm not sure what's going on, but that continued again this week, but the other direction. I woke up on Tuesday morning and I had 896 subscribers, which was an increase of, you know, from where I was at that point of nearly 650. It was stupid. And when I actually went to look at the number of views that have been had, they didn't support that number of subscribers, and the numbers of minutes watched on videos didn't support that either. And sure enough, by Thursday morning, all that had gone down again, but it actually gone down further from where it started. It went down to almost where we were last Sunday, around about 180 plus subscribers, and then it leveled off again during the week. So it seems to be a weird profile at this moment in time. With YouTube really doing some strange things around the metrics, unless I did generally overnight for no reason getting another 650 subscribers, then they all got bored of me and went away again, which I sort of kind of find hard to believe. So let's give me the updates on the figures. 25th of November, the last video, we had 26 videos out there. We had 2,828 views, 183 subscribers, and 9,147 minutes watched, which was about 6.5 days. Today, 2nd of December, 29 videos, 3,430 views, 210 subscribers, so we've cracked the 200 mark, which I'm really pleased about, and about 10,203 minutes watched of videos, which equates to around about just over 7 days. So that seems to be growing pretty well. I say I have no targets or great expectations, and as long as it continues to grow, then I'm happy enough. 12 subscribers of the week. Thank you for everybody who subscribed. If you haven't subscribed and you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Thank you for spending some time with us. You've joined in the vlog, the weekly video log, and all I do here is just ramble on in a pretty unscripted way, talking about what's going on in a week of the Woodgrafter. The Woodgrafter itself and the entire channel is about building up a woodworking business. The videos eventually will have a dedicated series looking at the business side, one looking at tool tips, one looking at building up, you know, the workshop, the customer projects, that sort of thing, and then this informal one on a weekly basis, just to keep you abreast of what's going on. So subscribe, leave me a like, get in touch with a comment. I read and respond to every single comment, so please, I'd love to get your feedback, positive and negative. I want to improve the experience for you guys, so I want it to be meaningful for you. So get in touch and let me know what you want to see as we build this out. Share your experiences, give me some advice and guidance. Great, let's talk. The first 12 subscribers of this week are Mads Kornath, The Challenger, Gomax, Faisal, Fred Mwangi, Buddy101, Eagle1, Alex Chowdhury, Suranisa Inda, Temple Adama, Averia, and The Creator. So thank you all for subscribing. subscribe now and maybe you get the shout out next week on the video. The question of the week came in from DIY Woodworks and Tech, and he or she are asking, nice video series, when sharing a panel in a cabinet and drilling 5mm holes on both sides, what length Euro screws are you using so that they don't touch each other when screwing in from both sides of the panel? So what I'm being asked there is, if this is our panel, an 18mm, which is an offcut of the stuff we've used on the sysport, and I've drilled a whole host of 5mm holes on my panels, and the idea goes I will fix my drawer runners onto those 5mm holes. Now obviously if I have a set of holes at the top and on the other side of the panel I'm sharing those holes, I'm using the same 5mm holes to secure the Euro screw. And if you don't know what we're talking about, this is a Euro screw. This one, from memory, is 16mm long, and you can see it's got quite a coarse thread on it, crosshead drive, coarse thread on it, and that makes them very suitable for things like softwoods, things like MDF, things like chipboard type appliances. So the sort of materials you're going to find in your kitchen cabinets or your quick to assemble type furniture, made out of MDF and so on and so forth. If I'm using that size screw on an 18mm panel, you can see it goes way past halfway. So the two things would then clash in the middle, and that's exactly what the question is about. The shortest version of this you can actually get, I think from memory, is 10.5mm. 10.5, 11, 12, 16 tends to be standard size. There's probably other ones out there. So what do we do? Well, what you don't do is you don't cut this down. These rely on the coarse thread pulling into the softwood or the man-made material, and if you cut this down you lose quite a lot of that thread, and at that point you're going to lose the strength on the overall joint. The smallest one I say is about 10.5mm, so you still need a panel of 21mm for that position, that situation not to happen. So what you really do is you make a thicker panel, and a 24mm thick panel is a good size of panel for coming in from both sides. So if you look at the bracket itself, and I'll explain what I'm doing here, because I have used 18mm panels on the sysport, and I will have that point where some of the screws meet. The hinges, or the brackets, sorry, come through with a number of holes. This hole here and this hole here are the 5mm holes. They're the ones I use for the Euro screw, and when I talk about drilling the holes on the sysport, you'll see how I've laid that out for those. So I'm using the holes on this particular project to give me the positioning, so everything lines up perfectly and it's all the right size front to back on the panel. Where I come to that situation where the screws are going to touch, I will choose one screw, so I'll choose a front screw and I'll put the Euro screw there. I will temporarily put the Euro screw in the back hole, and then I will secure using these two, I think these are 4mm holes here, these two long elongated holes here, and that will make it secure. Then when I turn it over and I'm doing that on the other side of the panel, I will then use that hole of the 5mm and pick up these front fixings here and here to secure the drawer. So you've not always got to use Euro screws. It's quick and easy if you can, but that's how I'm going to get around the problem here. And I only have that problem on the very, very bottom run of drawers. That's the only time it lines up and I'm sharing a screw hole. And at that point I'm only talking about 1, 2, 3 panels. So that's actually only 3 screw holes that I'm going to have to do that workaround. Everything else, deliberately by design, doesn't line up, so I don't have that overall clash. But yeah, the easiest thing to do is to think about the strength and the width of the panel and go up to a 25mm panel, and that's going to give you a very secure joint, allow you to use probably the 11mm screws, which is going to make it nice and tight. So that's what I would do. But great question, and thank you very much for that question. What else? Yeah, final thing is we've got a commission in. We've been asked by a customer to look at an internal arch in a house. At the moment they've got a big square hole in a wall that joins two rooms together, and they want to put a wooden trim around that to make it nice and simple. So we're going to create a number of panels. It'll be a raised panel construction on the insides of the arch, and probably just some fancy architrave that I will cut to match the house. And I've got some new router cutters to allow me to go ahead and make some architrave. So we're doing a video on that, and we talk about some of the design principles, because there's some, not complicated, but there's some interesting little gotchas that we need to think about as we go through that construction. So that's coming up soon. Make a video, but get that out there and share that with you. So for this week, that's about it. Say 2nd of December, so it's Christmas decoration putting up day. So I'm going to spend some time with the family. We're going to get the Christmas decorations up, then sit down for a nice Sunday meal, which sounds like a great weekend to me. See you soon. Take care.